And welcome to the stage, Seth Gilliam and Kinney! Let me grab another mic. I'll be right there. C'est le micro vert, s'il te plaît. Bienvenue, welcome to the stage. I'm assuming, and it's fine if you can't, but I'm assuming you don't speak French.
No.
No.
That's fine.
Sorry.
I'll do a little bit of translating as we speak, so apologies if the rhythm is a little bit weird during conversation. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I'm going to go straight into some weird questions. Okay. So first question to you, Seth. The father is going through quite a lot of complex challenges, right? I wrote it down better this morning, but essentially my point is, does the father feel punished by God for being in a world that feels so hellish, or does he feel as though God has given him that opportunity because it means that he is capable of handling such pressure?
I would lean more towards the latter. I would think as far as punishment goes, that Father Gabriel punishes himself. And I don't believe he believes it's coming from God. I believe he feels he failed God, and so he punishes himself. And then God, believing in him, gives him another opportunity to make things right.
Okay, so he feels as though he's punishing himself. Although, what kind of sins has Father Gabriel committed?
Well, the biggest sin was not using his church as a safe space during the fall of the society, when he locked out all of his congregation, his flock, as it were. I think that is something that it takes him years to forgive himself for.
And if I'm correct, you are yourself an ordained minister?
Yes, of course. No, I'm not an ordained.
Are you not?
No. I'm a black guy from New York, you know what I mean?
So I did a little bit of research, j'ai fait un petit peu de recherche sur l'internet, et on m'a dit qu'il était aussi un prêtre, un curé. Apparemment il l'est pas. My apologies.
It's just pretend. The show is just pretend. It's made
acting!
Up. Yes.
Oh, it's acting! My apologies. So I did a little bit of research, and it said that you were like a full-on priest as well.
Yeah, no.
So you don't go for method? You're not method?
No, I studied the method. I don't apply it in my professional life.
Well, that's good to know, because I have seen The Wire, and Beth, moving on to, apologies for that, but it's the internet. I'm misinformation everywhere. Beth, hello.
Hello.
No, it's not Beth. Beth is your character. Hold on.
It's alright.
I'm in my mind. Beth is quite a shy character, but grows into her own. And I was wondering, how do you think Beth would be if she became the leader of the group? How would she evolve into that role?
Oh my gosh, if Beth was the leader, I think that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, I could see how if she had survived and needed to continue to survive in the world, that she would have continued to, figure out what she needed to do to survive and grown stronger. And I think she had a lot of people like her sister and Daryl and Rick and everyone like on her side. So, yeah, I don't know.
How does playing a show that confronts you with human nature at its best and at its worst influence the way you perceive your own reality and your interactions with people? La question en fait c'est le fait que dans le show il y a tellement de mal et du bien, comment est-ce qu'ils essayent de vivre cette réalité dans notre réalité en fait? comment est-ce qu'on peut être confronté à ça et pas changer psychologiquement? Like, how does it not change you psychologically?
I think it's helped me to have a little more compassion for people, for their failings or their shortcomings. I think as before I started working on the show, I would probably been a little more impatient with people until I started working on the role of Father Gabriel. And, you know, as an actor, I find that I try to find something in each character that I play that I can love so that I can best represent them. Regardless of what the audience is seeing, you have to love something about your character. And there was one of the things that I loved about Father Gabriel was his compassion once he realized that he had lost it and tried to make up for it. So it's something that I've kind of been a little bit more aware of in my own daily dealings.
I think something about working on a show that's about the end of the world and then looking at, you know, I get into some of the news and the TikTok, what is it called? When you just keep scrolling, doom scrolling and things like that. I think like looking around the world and sort of looking at structures that we have in place and that they could collapse at any moment. I guess recently that has like entered my mind. I also think just when you're working on a show, even when in ways you're not aware of it, it enters into other parts of your life. Like I've definitely had dreams now about zombies. Also just things that my characters go through end up in songs and poems that I write, even if when I'm writing it I'm not aware. So yeah, I think it definitely follows out with me into the world in some way. For sure.
Il y a des questions du public? Are there any questions in the public? Yes, sir. En français, s'il vous plaît, hein, je traduis.
En français? Allez-y. Je préfère en anglais.
Can I do it in English? That will be actually great. We have a question about the relations of Beth and Daryl. Actually, my wife and I are like in disagreement about. I was thinking it was going to like a romantic relationship, and my wife says, no, it was like totally like sort of something together, but not like romantic. So that's the question. Where was it going? Had it been like moving on? Do you think they would be like together, or is it more like a sponsorship thing?
I think they had a really good I think they became friends. I think Daryl and Beth were so different, and when they kind of paired up and became partners for an episode or two, I think that they really bonded and they really saw each other in a different light. And I think before we can see what would happen, Beth died. So I don't really think that it was romantic. I think it was just the beginning of a friendship. But I don't know what the writers had in mind. They never mentioned to me any certain way. They kind of left it open-ended, I think, purposefully.
She's right.
Il y a des autres questions? Oui, monsieur, avec le... Oh, that guy. Allez-y.
Hello Emily, hello Seth, welcome in France.
Thank you.
I have a tough question of you two. What are your best memories during the working day, Seth?
Some of my best memories are ones where we got to shoot something all together, because I had a lot of scenes where it would just be, you know, me and one other person, especially towards the end. So I always think about at the end of season 2, when before we've gone into the prison and we're just sitting outside of it and we're all sitting around the campfire. I specifically remember that evening being a really, really nice evening with the whole cast, and all week we had been just doing like fighting zombies, running stuff, so it was nice to just sit and be with everyone. So that was one that I like.
And some of my favorite memories are trying not to laugh in scenes with Jeffrey Dean Morgan or Josh McDermott, because they're both very funny in very different ways. Josh is very intellectual and dry-witted, And Jeffrey Dean Morgan curses a lot and is very self-deprecating in a Rodney Dangerfield way. I'm sure you guys don't know who Rodney Dangerfield is. But there are children here, so I won't repeat what he said, but they were usually very colorful asides that it was hard to maintain a straight face for.
Thank you.
What intangible things did Beth and Father Gabriel miss from the old world? And how do you think those little moments of reflection when they missed the old world and they couldn't grab onto it but they wanted to, those little nostalgia moments, for example, like what do you think Beth's one was and what do you think Father Gabriel's one was? The way to essentially keep hope in a landscape that seems hopeless.
I think Beth that missed, music and being a kid and being creative. Right away in season 2, once they're in the prison, you see her sort of like decorating her bunk and all these things that she's drawn. And so I always imagined Beth to be a very like creative, artistic person, but when you're in survival mode, which they are in so much of this series, there's not a lot of time to like be creative, creative really comes from times when you can have some boredom and let your mind wander, and I think that's probably what she missed the most, is just getting to sort of be more creative, wander, and not be in survival mode.
I hadn't really thought of things. I don't really think Father Gabriel had many reflective moments that were joyous for him. But I would say he probably missed manicures and pedicures and facials the most.
How was it to be
He's a very metrosexual preacher.
How was it being brought back to interact with Jadis or Pollyanna McIntosh? Was it just quite a joyful experience?
It was. I really enjoyed working with Pollyanna the first time around on The Walking Dead. I like her energy, I like her sense of play, her fearlessness, the lack of vanity. All of those things make for a lot easier exchange for me as an actor with my partner. If I know that they're not worried about how they look or how they sound, then I'm less likely to worry about how I look and how I sound. And we're actually probably going to get a little deeper into the characters, and that's one of the things that I appreciate about her, is that she helps to ground me, in the scenes that we did together. So I was very excited to work with her again.
I feel as though I would survive quite well in the Walking Dead world because they're slow zombies, right? Maybe I'm very naive, but they're slow. And so often when you see those movies that experience the zombies with fast pace, there's almost an extra degree of danger. I was wondering, what are your favorite zombie films?
28 Days Later.
It's a beautiful film. What about it is
I think, speaking of what you're saying, the speed of the zombies. I think the speed of the zombies, as well as the sheer number of them, made them far more terrifying.
And so how would Father Gabriel evolve in a world where suddenly they're faster?
I think he'd get faster.
What about you?
I don't know if I have a favorite zombie movie. I think The Walking Dead's my favorite.
Oh, of course, The Walking Dead is the favourite. I mean, that's obviously. Well, it's a TV series, and I'm saying movie. Yeah, come on. You gotta choose one, Emily.
No, I don't know enough. I don't know for
That's okay.
zombies.
We'll come back. We'll come back to it.
I mean,
You can't leave until you get
for scary movies, I really liked Quiet Place, and I like all the old school, like all the old school Scream movies, and I Know What You Did Last Summer and all that kind of stuff.
Were there any particular influences for your characters when you brought them to life in The Walking Dead, or did it just emerge from your own sort of personal work and training? Donc est-ce que les personnages qu'eux ils ont créés, est-ce que ça vient de juste eux-mêmes ou est-ce qu'il y a une influence extérieure? Est-ce qu'il y a un personnage qu'ils connaissent ou quelque chose?
I mean, when I first joined the show, they didn't show me a lot. This character isn't in the comic books. I did go back and start reading some of the comic books when I was cast. So a lot of my putting together who the character was with the scenes that I did have, and then talking with the creator, Frank Darabont at the time, he was texting a lot back and forth with me when we were first doing like hair and makeup and what Beth would look like, and then with Yulin. So I really feel like Yulin helped me, who was the costume designer. You know, and I would say
And what can you?
Yulin is the costume designer for Walking Dead.
But can you expand on how you two collaborated together?
Yeah, just talking about what she would be wearing, how she would look, and then also as she, you know, as she left, I do find what I wear and how I feel to really influence how I'm going to play a character. And just little things like deciding to put the braid in her hair, or like deciding what necklaces she would wear and where those necklaces came from. Those were decisions I made with Yulin, who is the costume designer at the time. And so I really feel like she influenced my character quite a bit. And then also with hair and makeup, deciding that sort of thing, like what she would look like. I remember putting into place those first decisions. And then also I feel like my time with Lauren, who plays Maggie, of course, that really influenced also who Beth would be, and my time with Scott Wilson. All those things sort of played into who she was going to be as a character. And then of course, as we went to season 3 and 4 and 5, there were little decisions, so we were sort of like always adding on even her interest in music and what kinds of pictures would be up in her prison cell, and that she would be taking care of the baby. Like all of those things started to sort of really build who Beth was and who she was within that family.
So do you find, both of you, that when you play a character, be it on The Walking Dead or another show, that the creation that emerges out of you is a collaborative process? And so you're almost more witness to a character being played through you? Is that too far out?
I don't know, for me it always starts, with words and how the character talks to, like it's a bunch of little things that all add up to who a character is. I mean, I bring myself to it. Like I said, during seasons 3, 4, and 5, we did add a lot to who Beth was, and that filled in some blanks, but before that I have to fill in the blanks myself. So I'm putting just more of my imagination of who I think she is, and where I am similar to Beth, I kind of filled in the blanks in that way. And then, like I said, it is collaborative because I think about what my relationship to Lauren or to Maggie would be, and to my father, and just all those things sort of start to fill in the blanks of who Beth is and how I'm going to play the character.
I just learn the lines and try to, you know, not make an ass of myself mostly.
Any questions from the public? Yes, mademoiselle. And you, sir, as well. Approach the front of the stage.
Hello there. Do you think Father Gabriel would have been such a strong character if the Saviors would have done him first?
I think he probably would have been stronger and probably would have died faster. I genuinely believe that, yeah.
Hi. For each of you, what's your favorite character in The Walking Dead?
I like Carol, mostly because of the journey and the arc that her character went on, from being an abused wife to being just a psycho killer. I appreciate that journey and Melissa McBride's portrayal of it. I also like Carl, Mostly because I like the actor. So I'm like, you're a cool kid. You grew up on TV, and you're not an asshole. You're like really generous and smart. And, you got your music. I'll root for you. So those are my favorite characters.
I like Carol, but I also have always really liked Rochon. So I just love Denai, and I just think she gets to wear cool costumes and but then there'd be moments where you get to see her in her life before, and yeah, I love watching Michonne, so Carol and Michonne.
This is for Seth and Emily, not Father Gabriel and Beth. If a zombie apocalypse were to happen, what food would you miss the most? Like in Zombieland, one of the characters misses a Twinkie, desperately wants a Twinkie. What would be yours?
M&M's plain.
Plain M&Ms?
Plain M&M's.
Any particular colour, or you're not fussed?
No, I'm all inclusive,
That's nice. If you were to find some M&Ms that were peanuts, or even peanut butter, would you still be a little happy, or?
No, I'd walk on by, man. Plain is what I'm looking for. I'd leave the peanuts for the kids who like the nuts.
That's what you're getting. What about you, Emily?
I think ice cream.
Ice cream.
Yeah, because they probably can't keep hold. They're not finding ice, stumbling upon. Yeah. At first I thought mac and cheese, but I was maybe they're stumbling upon boxes of macaroni and cheese. So ice cream.
I don't know which series it is where you find a town that's got working electricity and everything like that. Doesn't that town have ice cream? I swear there's an ice cream episode, right? There is an ice cream episode. Did Beth
Beth wasn't there, so she didn't get any.
I'm so sorry.
There's ice cream and cotton candy.
Cotton candy?
Yeah.
You both have quite a sweet tooth.
Yes, I do.
That's what would survive in a zombie apocalypse.
Well, packaged sweets would survive, but you've got to make cotton candy from just sugar, and you need the tub that twirls around. You need electricity to make cotton candy. But yeah, Twinkies will last until, 3 apocalypses later.
Do you know what cotton candy is called in France? Barbapapa. It means daddy's beard. Isn't that weird?
It sounds dirty.
It sounds dirty, but that's how us French like it. We eat daddy's beard. What can I say? So next time you're enjoying a little bit of cotton candy, I just want you to think of us.
Hopefully I can do that without embarrassing myself.
Oh, daddy's candy. Sorry, that was gross and weird. Any other questions? Yes, please. Monsieur.
Hi. If your character died another way, or if your character died, would you have liked to play them as zombie versions of you? And which other character of the show would you want to be killed by?
That's a good question. So if you died, or when you died, and you became a zombie, who would you want to have kill you? C'était une question parfaite, mais you have an accent tellement French that it was a little bit difficult.
It's also echoey, so it's hard to.
Yeah.
I guess my sister makes the most sense.
That's so harsh.
Why?
Because that's so harsh.
Better than someone I don't know.
Yeah, Daryl
Seems
killed his brother.
Yeah, it feels like the right thing.
I mean, in all fairness, that would be quite an
That'd
episode.
be hard for Maggie because
That'd be
she's
a
already seen her
beautiful
dad.
episode.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I would want to come back as a zombie just for the day to play dress up, as a zombie. And then I would want him to fall off a bridge and bash his head against the rocks below so that no one would have the horror of having to kill him off.
Aw, that's so sweet.
Zombie suicide.
A suicidal zombie. If a zombie bites another zombie, do they come back?
As a person?
Yeah. I don't know, I've never... You don't know?
I don't think it works that way.
Yeah, I think it's...
Probably not, right? I'm a big fan of the concept of zombies, but I often think about it in terms of philosophically speaking, right? We are humans that have herd mentality, we have millions of years of DNA in us, we are confronted by fast-paced technologies, that our behaviors are often happening through us in such a way that it might feel like we are zombies with delusions of sentience, right? Like that line between free will and being automation. How do you live with the knowledge that we are paradoxically alive and dead? Go. So I'm gonna translate it, and then you have to answer it. Donc la
These
question.
questions are more like I could maybe like write an essay and show up
Yeah, well,
tomorrow.
we've got time.
Oui.
La question que j'ai demandé, c'est en fait les humains, on est un petit peu des zombies avec l'illusion d'avoir la sentience. Ça, sentience, c'est que tu sais, on est manipulé avec nos ADN, la technologie, etc. Donc en fait, nous, on est des zombies. Et j'ai demandé comment est-ce que eux, ils peuvent vivre paradoxiquement entre la vie et la mort. Parce que nous, on est tous vivants et morts. Okay, good luck.
I find that I avoid a lot of the modern conveniences that technology provides me. And I think it helps me to hold on to my humanity. I think we are rushing headlong towards bots doing for us what we should be doing for ourselves moment to moment, as opposed to getting on a plane or cleaning an apartment. And I think that the more we can recognize that it's for assistance, not for something that should take the place of our existence, we'll probably be happier in the future moving forward. But I don't have many of the things, the technologies that my friends and family have, and I find them a little happier because of it.
I would prefer to not have TikTok or Instagram, and I recognize like all the value that it brings, but I agree. I would like to, but I can see how it has affected my brain and how it's affected my day, and I agree. I think that slower and being able to experience the moment and not be trying to do so many things at once is better. You get to like really enjoy the moment and yeah.
No, those are really good answers because ultimately I do sometimes, and I overthink, and I spend a lot of time by myself, but I often see, if you like, the zombification of humanity through these different things that are faster than our evolution. And so sometimes The Walking Dead just seems like a reflection of humanity, doesn't it? It's the people that are, if you like, present and alive versus the people that are stuck in a whirlpool of not able to be present. Yeah. And so do you find that you take that fight still today? Does your character still live in you and continue that fight of fighting zombies? Or am I just reading too much into it?
No, I think you've gone too far, man, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's Beth inside of me fighting.
I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about.
I don't know. But
it helps to smoke sometimes, you know?
I think I am every day fighting against including technology into my day.
Yeah.
In that way, yes. And when you are inviting technology into your world, you're also inviting a certain maybe viewpoint or this or that you do or don't want. And so yeah, I think every day it's a decision to go the other way and not look at your phone. I know that question was a little far out.
No. Actually, I don't know what you're asking me, but I will try to answer it. I think that I think I have clearly I have some of the traits of Father Gabriel in me, but I don't really rely on them on a daily basis to get through my life or to get through my interpersonal reactions with people. I think I'm still saving it in case, because the character is still alive, I'm called upon to do it again. And I don't want it to become something that I'm just playing a part of me, because that's not fun.
Est-ce qu'il y a des autres questions plus simples que les miennes?
For you, what will be the best ending for the Walking Dead universe? And if you can choose to take back this character, what will be?
I think the best ending would be if they found a cure for the virus. And then what was the other question?
Can you bring back a dead character like Carl or another one?
Yeah, I would bring back,
Beth?
yeah, because that was a good gig.
Beth comes back with the cure.
Yeah, Beth would be. I don't know if I need her to live till season. Now I'm just getting picky. Yeah, till like season 7. Well, I don't know. Or if she came back, I actually didn't mind when she died, but like now looking back, I'm like, oh, that was a good point. But maybe now, yeah, if she could somehow be found to be living. Cool.
I think the best ending for The Walking Dead would be aliens.
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 Yes.
Aliens. I don't know if they've come to save us or to like take control of the planet because they've eliminated us with this virus or not. But I think aliens is the solution and the answer in the end.
Who's far out now?
Yeah. Well,
I think
yeah.
aliens that come to
Helps to
save
slow.
us. Interdimensional.
Okay, interdimensional
beings
to come to
that-
save us. Okay.
One more question and then I'm going to wrap it up. Une autre question et après on a fini. Oui, deux. Demandez les deux.
Hello guys, thank you for being here today. I have one question which leads to another one. So we all know that the Walking Dead universe is expanding and Scott Gimple wants to create a massive crossover between the old spin-offs that we've got. So Seth, maybe this question is for you and also Emily. Is that something you are looking forward to happen? And is there a chance to see more of a Beth character, maybe in the flashback scene centered on the Maggie's spin-off? And also, another question is, if you are familiar with the other spin-off, with which character would you like to play with if this massive crossover happened?
I would, of course I would do it because, you know, I like to eat and I have bills and that's a job and I would take it. As far as who I get to play with, anybody, man, as long as they're willing to play. I think the actors on the show were hired for various reasons. Everybody has a special talent and a special sense of, you know, they sparkle and they shine in their own ways. So I would be willing to work with any of the characters, whether it be people from Fear the Walking Dead or The Walking Dead or The Ones Who Live or Daryl, whatever it may be. I would trust the casting people and the producers to have hired or rehired actors of merit and worth and creativity.
Yeah, that's a same answer. I would do it. I would take that check and
Cash it.
yeah, and I really, that's one thing about this show that's been so cool is I do feel like the casting is awesome. Everyone I've met, and I think that's one thing that has somehow magically lined up and made the show so special is that all the actors, they are cool people and people you'd want to work with and work really hard and take it seriously, but also have fun. And yeah, I'd work with anyone.
Any parting thoughts?
You're a strange dude, Eric. I like you.
Thanks, man. I don't mean to. It just
Yeah, if you meant to, I would hate you. And people are like, why is he acting like, like this bizarre intellectual? But you are a bizarre intellectual, and I greatly appreciate you for it.
That's going to go on my poster. The poster's in my room. Any parting thoughts from you?
No, I'm just happy to be here, yeah. And it's been so lovely meeting everyone.
Emily, I believe that tomorrow you and I are spending more time together,
Yeah,
so
I saw it was
make
called
sure
the
you
Big
read.
Emily Kinney Show. And I was like,
Hell
I
yeah.
haven't prepared anything.
I'm going to prepare even harder questions. But I believe we can find both of you signing and doing photographs and stuff. On peut les trouver, faire des autographes et des photos et tout ça de l'autre côté du bâtiment. So thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you
This
for
was a lot of
allowing
fun.
me to ask silly questions.
Absolutely.
Emily Kinney and Seth Gilliam!
Thank you.
Vive la France! Je crois qu'il y a quelque chose d'autre dans 10 minutes.